All right, family, we are live. Vocal dialect, we are back tonight. Um, we gonna get it in tonight. We have Sister Nisa Shabazz. We also have Sister Rhonda. We have the General Shaka Sankofa. We have Gerald Moore and my brother Kinwado Akil. Now tonight's subject, we're gonna be talking about the world crisis, as far as the current events, the world on the brink, shape and how these particular events are going to be shaping our future. So so pretty much, we're going to explore a lot of different topics tonight, dealing with global issues, and things of that nature that's going to impact our future. We're going to try to cover a little bit of geopolitical conflicts as well as economic stabilities, and of course, the big topic is at hand is the this upcoming election. So we're going to be covering a few things, conflicts, and dealing with the instability, and we might even touch on a little bit as far as the climate crisis. And we're going to be dealing also with how these events are going to be shaping the world. And we're going to consider everything that we say is from our individual perspectives. And we also want the listening and participating audience to also ask questions. We're going to be asking questions as well as in the chat. So how y'all doing, family? How's everything going?
Greetings. Everything's great.
All right, peace, family.
One thing I
Black
do want to say
power.
is
Like
I am
brothers and
glad to see
sisters.
everybody. It's an honor to be amongst the melanin. I love it. One of you guys got your phone in the background. I think it might have been Ken. He cut it off. So we the fellas we were discussing some things on the phone one day. Me, Shaka, Ken, what do I care? We were talking about the United States as it is being the superpower that it is, and not just that, the different entities that so-called are coming against the United States in the background. One of the topics that we talked about was Putin, President Putin. So pretty much dealing with that geopolitical conflict, Putin actions. Far as his what he is doing behind the scenes and in the forefront, as far as the ongoing war in Ukraine. So my question is to you guys: how do you feel as the United States being a superpower? What do you guys think? And what do you guys think about the Brinks? The bricks. That's what's that, brother Jules? That what's the bricks?
Bricks is the aligning of the breaking away what they did, broke away from the treaty with the United States and others so they could be an independent entity. That's what the BRICS was. But then they came together. Biden brought the certain states, the certain countries back together. Because if you notice, UK, France, uh, it's another country also that's has joined in Israel. That's who it is. Israel, because Israel, they have come together now to say and made a treaty this time is that whatever resources that they want, whatever ores they want, whatever minerals they want, whatever sort of herbs, anything that they want that other countries have, oil or anything, they feel that if they don't negotiate to their understanding of what it should be, then it's going to be war. And we didn't know. We talked about it last week of how the countries are facilitating wars in other countries by supporting those countries by providing them with arms, military, also providing them with finances, which that country is also providing them with gold and other things. But now we talk. Now, what is the major conflict that people not talking about is Israel with Hezbollah against Gaza, and we're seeing that's coming out to be a war which the United States, France, and other countries have joined in and supplied Israel with things. And then now they're talking about a dome that they have, an iron dome that they're building up, and it's supposed to create. They're supposed to be creating within a year's time, a year, a laser that is supposed to obliterate any planes or anything that's in the sky. And I guess that's what you was talking about when you were saying the United States being a world power. But remember now, the United States send them 80 billion. The only cost of this particular weapon is only 500 million.
Okay, Brother Shaka, what you have on that?
Well, you know, BRICS is also a you know, it's just an annex of the Council on Foreign Relations, as well as NAFTA, North American Trade Federation, and NAFTA, BRICS, Council on Foreign Relations, Bilderberg, all of those conglomerates are all in session there trying to create a one world government. You know, where it's no longer going to be any more superpowers. It would just be one power. And you're going to have two levels of people. You're going to have those who are in power that eat off the poor. And then you're just going to have the people, the commoners, such as us. That's how they perceive us. Are those that are going to be bottom feeders to the globalists. And in reality, we already have and will continue to be bottom feeders to the globalists. This is how they're able to maintain world domination and control. And so with these threats and these narratives that they push about this World War III and the end of the world, which every 10 years you hear that this same energy surfaces somehow, whereas the end of the world, we're in the last days, and it's never going to happen like that. Because they will disintegrate, they will destroy everything before they even split the pie. And so what they have going on, as well as what we discussed last week as far as the Sudan, how China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and those hybrid Egyptians that are raping and killing all the Sudanese, taking all the precious minerals and things out of the Sudan to create this entire global system where everybody will have to be dependent and be under the mercy upon these particular rulers, this particular rulership of demons. So, and what they're doing to us is providing us with propaganda, having us focus on the election, having us focus on things that really bear no power, you know, aside from entertainment, sports, oppression, depression, suppression, starvation, infant mortality, abortion, and all of these things that they continue to use certain people to push these agendas to ensure that they do remain, always will have bottom feeders. And this is how the superpowers, this is how they're able to continue world and global domination. And so it is our responsibility as a people to, collaborate and to begin to intertwine all of our resources, our energy, because we are the superpowers, to combine all of our resources and to develop a unification that's never been presented on this planet before among the melanated people, because we have the ability and the power and the mindset and the DNA and the melanin to destroy everything. And so
we
this
gotta
whole
realize
thing,
that though, Brother Shaka. A lot of us just don't realize that. Just the comment that you made, we don't realize.
a lot of times people such as us that has never experienced freedom just think that the captivity that they're currently in on all levels, economically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, they think that's the best freedom that they could acquire. So, like the great Asada Shakur always have said, you know, she don't know what freedom is. None of us know what freedom tastes like. None of us knows exactly what the feeling of freedom is. And so we've been conditioned to accept and believe in our minds that this is the highest level of freedom that we'll acquire.
Interesting.
Hey,
I got a question. I got a question. Go ahead.
Hold on. Me, for everyone that just joined in on the show, appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We love the support. We really get information. And make sure you just hit that like button as you come in, and you have subscribed to the show. Please do. All right, brother Knox.
I got a question for the sisters. Do you guys think as the people that they are overwhelmed with global conflicts and dealing with the economic shifts, such as topics like this?
I think I believe that distraction is all over the place. So we don't come together like we're supposed to. We are just so distracted by everything that's going on and not really paying attention to, what's really happening here. And everything is hidden right in plain sight. And that's why I think this event that we're doing, that they came up with in December, is emergency preparedness. Where do we go from here? So after this so-called election is over of the lesser of the two evils, what are we going to do? And I mean, what is going to happen to us that's not already happening to us? Because it's like it seems like it's getting worse every day. And sometimes I really wonder if we really will taste freedom, or if we're just going to just stay in the same condition and repeat this vicious cycle. And this is frustrating. It's very frustrating. So, but I'm just enjoying listening. I'm learning a lot. So I appreciate y'all for having me on. Thank you. But that's just how I feel. And hopefully one day I won't feel like this.
Brother Joe, do you, because we was politicking a few days ago. So do you think the United States of America is still a superpower of the world?
No, I really don't think so, because we had this conversation, me, you, Tashaka, and Knowledge, and I still think as we were. Here's an illustration of it. Let me unpack everything up.
All right.
Once before they had the United States, when they was in World War I, World War II. We talking about 1941, 43. The United States has never won another guerrilla warfare at that particular time. Even though the times have come up to now, we talk about the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and every war the United States have bailed out. Even in Afghanistan, they bailed out. Afghanistan ran them out. We talking about after 20 years later, they ran them out. They told them get out their country or they was gonna kill them. Now, we can understand all the innovation, the computers, the AI, and the satellites and everything else, but when most wars are going to be won on the ground. They're not going to be won in the air. You can't possibly win a warfare in the air, because then when you're doing it in the air, you particularly picking out what they call their strategy. You're generally picking out areas where it's civilians. If you're not knocking out the military arsenal and you're taking on civilians and you're getting rid of the civilian, what does that do for a country? You ain't doing nothing but making the civilians have to go through war-torn societies and communities. That doesn't help you win a war. The war is just where the people is going to be saying they give up. They don't want to be fighting no more. But now what we're looking at it where it's not as strategic as it used to be. You don't have generals planning it out. You have people playing with toys, which we can say computer apparatuses. They help them to assist them in fighting. You know, it's like robots and everything else. What good is that going to do? So when you're talking about a superpower, now let's take Putin for instance, what knowledge brought up earlier. Putin has gotten together and gotten countries like Africa to join along, China to join along, the African nations to join along, and also the guy from South Korea. Now, when you're talking about having those particular powers against the United States, you're talking about France, the UK. We can say we can count the UN also, because the UN is supposed to be a peace entity, but it's not. You have all those particular ones that are fighting the war, that's going to join in the war. Like I said before, in World War II, the United States didn't win that war by themselves. They had allies. They had the British. They had the Scottish, the French, the Australians. They had a number of allies. Now they don't have as many allies as they used to have. But when you're talking about powers around the world, those powers are getting bigger. Even when we talk about innovation, if we talk about technology, most technology is done in China. China even owns the United States communication system. If you tear out the communication system, how are you going to fight a war?
Well, I hate to break the news to you.
Okay, go ahead.
This war will not be fought on the ground. This will be a technical war, and it will be dealing with advanced technology and probably artificial intelligence. We understand China is leading, and there are so many light years away from the United States. But I will say this, like I said before, if all these countries are getting together and they thought they could beat the United States, they would do it today. If they knew that they can beat the United States to bring down the biggest gangsters, to bring down the beast, they would do it today. Why? They can't. It's as simple as that. If Russia and everyone else merged together and they had a fighting chance to do it, they would do it today. They would do it today. They can't. It's as simple as that. They can't.
Well, go ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
Well, we got to keep in mind too that this is something that just didn't happen overnight. This has been in the making. It has always been a part of the plan. You know, the pandemic, all this stuff has been part of the plan for the new world order. So like General Tashaka is always telling us, we need to collaborate and prepare ourselves. That's what we need to do. And thank you for having me tonight, Black Power.
Power sister.
When we talk about superpowers, it's just not based on a military. You know, these superpower is based on its economic infrastructure, its technology, and its ability to be self-supporting without having to rely upon exports in terms of survival, even though maritime law is just a law of nature, you know, as far as the water, you know, knowledge, you know, he gracefully breaks that down to the nth degree. But when we talk about superpowers, the first thing we think about is airplanes and nukes. And it's far more than that. Even every war has been a result of the bullying and domination or attempted domination of resources, minerals, the control of currency, population control. See, all of these different components, you know, this is what makes up a superpower. And I agree with Gerald to a great degree that, you know, the U.S., when you lay it all out, just push the military piece out of it. When we look at just import and export, being self-supporting, you know, what the devil Trump talks about, creating once again the industrial era where You know, in the 40s and the 30s, you know, all the world wars, besides it ended in Korea, but prior to that, World War I, World War II, the U.S. created them. They manufactured their own weapons, their own bullets. They created their own airplanes. They created jobs. They created economic infrastructure. Now that we've had people that have created a level of fear of the other countries, you know, trying to make them bigger than what they really are. And that goes back to what knowledge says. Who would, in any country, would be reigned the supreme country if they would defeat the most tyrannic, dominant bullies and gangsters in human history, which is the United States of America with 3 Ks. And once again, if they could do that, they would do that with a heartbeat, because that would be the ultimate victory, you know. But at the same time, I think that all of these countries actually have this same type of defense systems in place. And it's just like being somewhere like prison or something. Nobody wants any drama, but when it comes, they're gonna have to go all out because they don't want to be taken advantage of. So when we look at this thing as a whole, and a lot of this stuff is propaganda too, because it plays on our DNA when we perceive it in our minds. And another implementation of fear, thinking it's going to be World War III, thinking it's going to be the end of the world. This is the adrenaline of fear they put in the hearts and minds of our people. And that makes our people that are religious, zealous, and whatnot embrace those doctrines. You hear the nigga preachers say it every week. They always, now every time a crisis comes, they go to Revelations. They've been doing this from day one. They've been doing this from day one. Gerald, you spoke on when Orson Welles went on the radio and did a prank hoax in the 40s talking about it was the end of the world and had everybody in a complete panic. You know, that plays on people's adrenaline. People have suffered massive heart attacks just the thought, you know, of being attacked from an airstrike or, you know, and other methods of destruction. You know, and then that goes back to what you were saying, Knowledge, about how technology is no more this G.I. Joe Civil War bullshit, you know, where you got 3,000 men running towards 3,000 men with this old Roman shit with guns. That stuff is obsolete now. The technology is so advanced, and these cyber systems that all of these so-called countries have. I don't call them superpowers, you know, because they're just powerful countries. Because the superpowers are us, you know. But they tell us, and they train us, and they implement fear in us to make us think that we're not super. You know, when you look back and you break this thing down to the salt grain, everything that they've created comes from the working and supreme knowledge and the geniuses of our people. And that takes you back to ancient Kemet, where they had planes and boats, and we were doing so many other things. So all of this stuff created from us. And so now that we're in this time where the Most High is putting us on a platform, you know, to choose certain individuals and massive groups of our people that are relentless, that have nothing to lose, that are fearless to take on these challenges. But as long as we're thinking that it's the end of the world, you know, when Trump gonna put us back in slavery next month, you know, you got the Kamalaites and, you know, all this passive resistance mindset. It plays on our mind, and this is just another diversion tactic to our people. You got family members that are not even speaking because one, if you vote for Trump, then you a coon and and all this type of stuff because people are so conditioned to being in poverty. And I don't mean to get off the subject, but when you look at the party,
you're right. All that combines, it
part of the
goes into
subject
one.
matter.
Yeah.
When you look at the Democratic Party, see the reason why our people are for Democrats because it's an addiction because they don't know any better. They're politically ignorant. They don't know any better, But the Democrat Party ended with the live execution of John F. Kennedy. Who wanted to crush the Federal Reserve and expose the elites. That was the end of the Democratic Party. That was the end right there. Everybody else that came in place had different agendas. And the pacification and the mental retardedness that we've developed as a people in accepting poverty and accepting being lower class, that the Democrats will say, okay, if you vote for me, I'll make sure that your Section 8, you're not going to lose your Section 8. We're gonna put $10 more on your EBT card. Just continue to vote Democrats. When you have a bad night at the club, sisters, you get a bad penis. You can go with Planned Parenthood. You can kill your baby. We're going to teach the children to be boys, teach the boys to be girls. We're going to have this big rainbow, this big a Roman Empire orgy type corporation there. But for me personally, that's the fear because we have to think of the next two generations. And we have to selfishly move ourselves out of the way. Like Sister Rhonda was saying, and Sister Nisha Bass was saying, we might not physically in this avatar see any form of freedom. And we have to be okay with that as long as we do the best we can to ensure that the next two generations will not have the pressure and the oppression of the previous 50 generations before us.
Right.
Yeah.
United States, people not joining the armed forces is at all-time low.
Yeah, it's at all-time low.
That's right.
Yeah, but I will say this: we got 750 bases in 80 different countries, and right now Japan is leading in technology, but at the same time, we're still being competitive in the machine learning far as AI and the patents ever since 2021. So that's another thing to take in consideration as far as dealing with us as a superpower. And I also want to say fear, false evidence appearing real. There are so many studies on us as a people, especially dealing with melanin. Ever since they've been the first things they grabbed when they started studying us as a people was the women's placentas. When they have the babies, they grab the women's placentas, and in those placentas tells everything about us as a people. Because a country is only great how you treat the woman, and as you can see how we treat our women, that's why we're not great as a people. What we should be. Anytime we still calling females bitches, we still calling them hoes, we being very disrespectful to the woman, and what happens is the European, the Wazungu, has come in and uplifted the woman. Now she's in more corporate jobs. She's getting more benefits, and the benefits is for the woman, so she can definitely say, like, if I do this, what do I need you for? To keep the conflict. Don't forget, we still on the subject. We're dealing with world conflict because this is a conflict amongst the people. And this same tactic they use with other ethnic groups as well. Like I say, when I be online late at night, I talk to people in Pakistan and other different places. These men are having the same problems in their culture as well. But I will tell you this, though. We have lost our culture. They have not lost their culture. So to a certain degree, when they go too far out of line, they can use their culture for as the woman to bring the woman back in alignment, or bring the woman, they don't have a lot of women don't have a lot of freedom, so to speak, whatever. So, but not saying it should be like that over here. What I'm saying is we don't have a culture. So by us not having a culture, and when the big brother, United States, give them all these benefits, the EBT, we give you housing, we give you stimulus checks, we give you all these benefits and stuff like that, then take the jobs from us, send them overseas. So now majority, and as you guys don't know right now, the black man is almost number one as far as entrepreneurship. The black woman is on entrepreneurship and as well, but the black man, because we don't have a choice. If we keep getting fired off of jobs, we can't take care of ourselves and our family. What we're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It's just simple as that. And then the hard jobs or the everyday jobs, the Hispanics are coming in and taking those jobs. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I was just saying, to say that one about the United States, the military bases, and also the continue about the world crisis.
You know what? You said something. You ain't shop said a whole mouthful. Now, let's just bring it all. Let's correlate all that together. Now, when you start talking about, now, Shaka mentioned the fact of the general components that's essential to survival. Food. What else did he say? He said food. He said there's other things that we need. Just can't think of everything that he said. I don't want to misquote him. But when you look at those type of things, all those general components that we need, financing. He said something about financing, money is concerned. Now, we know that the United States dollar ain't backed by gold no more.
No.
It has no value to it. It ain't even as value as you know how when we was coming up, we was told the money ain't even worth that the ink that is the paper that is printed on. So now when you take those particular entities from a country, the way to get the country first is that you financially break them. The next construct is to tear down the infrastructure. Once you tear down the infrastructure, you can conquer that country. You get the mass, you get the media, you get their finances. The country is particularly broke. Once the country is broke, what you use to fight your wars with? Now, psychologically, they have damaged it to the point that even us as individuals, you brought that out, knowledge, when you said we as family, the woman and the man, they done separated us. We constantly have this contentiousness going. So basically, if we fighting each other, how can we have the opportunity to get together to become strong, energetically wise, mind wise, and everything else, to be able to take on an opponent that's coming to conquer you or to exploit you? Now, I would say this is my mindset. I don't know how everybody else thinking. I think with Russia, China, and everybody else doing it just like they did Africa. They divvying it up, who's gonna get what, and when they come here, because see, America hated around the world. That's the one thing we hated. They didn't destroy our name. They didn't destroy our sense of morals, our sense of being abnormal. All of that fabric been torn down. Now, what else do we have to rely on except for, as you say, in the Black community? Because we know what we're capable of doing. It's our mindset. Our mindset is being destroyed by who you said, the Wakudu.
The Wazungu.
Wazuku. So now they know that if they know that they can break us down, our frequencies, our way of thinking, our pineal gland, our pituitary gland, what can we fight with? Because they got all the weapons. So, I mean, if we're going to get together as a people, we got to find a solution of how to come together. And we hear Brother General Tashaka say it all the time. We can't do this individually. I don't care what it is. We got to get out of our way of thinking, get out our own way, and come together as a people. We got a common goal, to fight suppression, to be liberated from a people that's controlling us. If we don't get away from them, we're going to be caught in that Armageddon that they say in the Bible, that's in Revelation, and we're gonna be destroyed within. All you have to do if you ever want to conquer them, destroy them within. Ain't that what's in the book? The book, the FBI assault on our national leaders. What is that? COINTELPRO?
Yeah, COINTELPRO.
COINTELPRO. Come on, we gotta look at our enemy and know who the enemy is. If we don't recognize the enemy, we lost as a people.
Yeah, and the problem
You're right
is
about that, Brother Joe, and that's the problem. A lot of times we treat our enemy better than we treat our people, you know. And you know, that's a huge problem in our community. You know, we got war within ourselves. So how can we as a people come together, bring our families back together, have that strong unity, and be able to be as one and overcome all of this? It's hard. It's hard. You got the music, you got the food, you got all these things that's tearing us down. You know, so I don't know what it's going to take for us as a people, but we are at war within ourselves, not even alone these other countries. You know, we got to find a solution to where we can come together as one. And get that unit, get that strong unit, that not the husband and wives, but the husband and the wives and that whole family unit back together. You know, that's where it starts. We have to relearn everything that we was taught. And it's hard because now these kids they done. You got the drugs out here, you got the music that's pushing the agenda. White folks ain't got to do it no more.
Right.
You know,
okay.
So,
you know,
well,
but hold on. See, the thing is, that's the point. They know that we the enemy. They know that we are the enemy, and they doing what they supposed to do because we not doing anything about it.
Right.
That's what I gotta say.
Following the lead.
I think that they don't know that we're the enemy. I think they know that we're the greatest. And when we talk about, sometimes we credit, we give these people too much credit and too much, we over respect them. Because especially when Knowledge had mentioned something about China and their technology. You know, we got to remember that the Chinese, which everybody overwhelmingly respects, is part Neanderthal. That's where the term Asian comes from. They are called Asians. They are called Asians. And what happened in their rise to the top of the chain in technology was when they were compensated, when they were rounded up during World War II and put in internment camps, but they were given reparations. And so what these devils were doing to us over here was denying us rights. They spent so much energy denying us, the soldiers that were coming home, denying them benefits, treating them like second-class citizens. The lynchings were taking place. So they were so intact and so gun-ho on oppressing us that the Asians got busy into technology. And they really got busy. They began to be self-supporting. They developed a cohesiveness because in their minds, they will never have an event like Hiroshima happen again, where Truman dropped that bomb and burnt up 6 million Asians. They said that will never happen again. So they actually got busy while we were dealing with oppression, and these devils were oppressing us, lynching us, killing us, and then they'll turn around and send us back to a war when the resources were being depleted from this country. And so if you look at the whole scheme of things, once again, you know, everybody knows who's the greatest, and it's us. You know, when we look at how China has risen, they rose because of us, because the original everything is us. Everybody that you see, Russians, Asians, Egyptians, Afghanistans, Afghanis, all of these people, Indians, are just hybrid versions and diluted versions of us. And so when they play on our self-esteem and make us appear that and give us the feeling of hopelessness and helplessness, then we begin to incorporate that in our beings.
Mm-hmm.
Then they've won half of the battle. And so it takes, and I go back to what Sister Ron and Gerald were talking about as far as the cohesiveness. We have to learn to break the chains and the cycles and the mental retardation and the emotional crippling, the economic castration, and the religious or pimping that takes place in the masses of our people. If we can shake that off and be able to see us and we see each other for who we really are, then and only then we'll be able to actually see the plays that have been ran on us, which will create a more urge of our quest, you know, for freedom. Because everything on the planet is ours. But they teach our babies, you know, and they credit everybody with all these glorious wonders and all these magnificent inventions, and they're this and they're that, you know, and it leaves our children feeling, you know, worthless. It lowers their self-esteem. And then they look at their own reflections and see that same low self-esteem. So they have no respect for that, you know. But when we're talking about overall in our communities, we're never dealing with the people who put the drugs in the community and the guns. We have this habit. And we're conditioned to condemn the end result. Just like the P. Diddy situation. All these different situations. Nobody is mentioning the global elitists, who are the masters and the most demonic people on the planet. You know, and Diddy and all these other people, see, they don't need COINTELPRO no more. They got NegroTelPro.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different system. That's a whole different system, man. And like Sister Rhonda was saying, that we you know, they don't have to show their faces.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, you know, if we really had that cohesiveness and Black power and Black liberation was on the top of the agenda in all Black neighborhoods, then you will see them sheets and hoods every night, and then we'll be able to deal with their asses as such. They will have to expose themselves because they no longer have people that look like you and I pushing these agendas. It's a clear indication of what we're dealing with now with this so-called election. You know, the globalists sent Obama to go down there and straighten the rest of the slaves out. Specifically the bucks. Specifically the Black bucks. Go down there and get them niggas in line.
Mm-hmm.
Get them in the polls. And he comes down there and what happened though, which was a victory for the Black man, because they sent him back to the globalists with his ass in his hand. You know, and that's just a glimpse of the power that we have when we actually put our minds together. Because I always say the primary cause and the contributing factor to our demise will be individualism. And you see it now.
Yeah.
We have the power right now within the next 60 days to economically turn the Black community, turn the Black nation over. That's enough almost $1 trillion to build communities, vocational centers, trade centers, treatment centers, you know, which will create hundreds of thousands of jobs and opportunities. You know, but the mental conditioning that we're under, the mental conditioning. And so when a lot of our people during the 80s, I know when I first was introduced to any level of consciousness was in the 80s, which I was also caught up in a lot of other stuff at the time, but people began not to celebrate certain holidays. You know, so once that began to snowball and people start catching on, then Negro Tel Pro sent the agent down. You know, what we'll do, we'll take Christmas and put a kente cloth strip around the tree, and then we'll call it Kwanzaa.
Hey, Shock, I'm gonna just say this.
Yeah,
Shock.
hold on, man.
Hold on.
Give a shout out to the people that's tuning in, man.
Hold on, real quick before you do it. Hey, Shock, you don't be talking about Kwanzaa, man.
Nah, man.
Can I say one word?
You say as many as you want, Shock, and nobody pay nothing no mind, man.
Kwanzaa, man. Fuck Kwanzaa, man.
Man.
Go ahead, kid.
Straight up, you know, if people that don't know the real history, Kwanzaa and Brother Kareem can do the research. Because I don't celebrate it either. I used to be.
I don't celebrate neither one of them. I've been stopping. Like Shaka said, back in the 80s.
Well, yeah. Brother Ken Waddle,
we did it earlier than that.
History?
Man, he a crook. He a kidnapper. And all that. It's no good. There's no good person. A lot of people don't know.
Right. What about the principles, man? What about the principles?
Hey, man, I don't celebrate none of that, man. We supposed to be living that every day. We supposed to live those 7 principles every day.
They put all that stuff together now just in order to keep you coming like a consumer. That's all they did.
That's all it is. The hustle,
it's
man.
all commercial. You already know. You know karma's better than anybody on this show.
Hey, man, we don't buy gifts, Kwanzaa. We make them.
So how you get the stuff to make it? Did you have to buy it?
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Marie Sullivan. Peace to the brother Christopher DeWitt. Sister Netta B. The brother Eashore Entertainment, a baby for Holier, brother. Rob, MCN, Lisa. She said, "What's up, cuz?" One of y'all cousins, Lisa. Give a shout out to Bernard's Expressions. And that's about it. Hey, hit that like button. Help us with the algorithms and stuff like that.
All right, Bernard's Expression said, "I live among those devils for 10 years, and I understand they're thinking 100% in some of the most racist states." He also said, "The fear of losing what we have, that's why it's hard for us to come together." The bottom line, I do believe that we are some privileged people right now, and to use some of that and to lose some of the privilege that we have, a lot of us don't want to do that. But I also want to say this too, though. The black man is rising as far as mental health, dealing with anxiety, and we're starting to rise again as far as substance abuse. So they breaking us down, the black man, which is bad, but that's why we have to stay focused, unify, and get around some brothers that you can have some real camaraderie with. Like these brothers right here, I call them, joke on the phone or whatever. They know my character, they know me, and you got to get with some people who gonna support you at the same time. And we all and we be on the phone. We all don't agree on everything, but one thing we do agree on is us as a people and liberation for our people. And we don't be on none of that other stuff. We be on building, you know what I'm saying? We be on culture, we be on finance, we be on herbology, we be on things that help us clean. And all of us on here, we fast, we cleanse our bodies, We use a lot of natural products, and we respect women. That's the number one thing. Like I tell people, when I grew up in Illinois, you couldn't say nothing to the mamas, the aunties, none of that. You would get whooped. You would get whooped. You know what I'm saying? I promise you. No, man, it goes down. But at the same time, I want to say that about mental disease because I don't like that because it affects a lot of us, a lot of men as a people. Some of our strong soldiers, you know, they turn into the rainbow way. They got to stop that, man. We got to find our sense of strength. The melanin inside of you is so powerful. You can do so many things. I'm searching out different things as far as my numerology and things of that nature. Get into the science. First, we were students of nature and ancient chemistry. We got into the science. When you get into the science, start studying and knowing everything that's in nature's inside of you. You have to get into the cosmology and the ecology of the black man. Know what makes you unique. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Learn about your DNA structure. What makes you complete. And then everything else. Let me tell you something. The black man and woman body is so powerful. They knew it. They started doing early research on it. We can literally heal ourselves. Stop taking GMO. Start drinking the right water. Get you some sleep. There are people in India who have some melanin in them. You know what I'm saying? Have some melanin in them who not even eating food. They're literally drinking water and doing breathing exercises and living to be 100-some years old. Now I don't know about their muscle strength, but I'm just telling you I'm just telling you the lifespan. But what I'm also saying is this though, if they can do it, we can do it, and we can go vast with it because of our structure and our body and how we made up.
But GMOs is everywhere, brother. GMOs is everywhere now. Brother Gerald had made it a comment when we was politicking a few days ago. America is full of GMOs. They push it. Like countries like Russia, they don't even push it. Ain't no GMOs there.
Right.
So how can we get away from GMOs? It's like we trapped.
It's a lot of certain things that they putting in food. You know, I was hearing one time it's something that's in our soles of our shoes that they put in food. Then you got the red dye. You got everything else. But Nada said one thing. Everything we take in after a year's time, you gotta take 1 month to purge your body. You're gonna get small, you're gonna get everything out your body, but your body feels energized once again. You be vibrant once again. You know, that feels good. I know when I do it, a couple of times I got sick because I wasn't I wasn't eating the proper thing. But this time around, oh man, I felt wonderful. Didn't get sick, no coughs, no sneezing. But then my body may have been starting to readjust. But that's most important. That's pertinent to your survival. If you want to stay healthy, get all that stuff out your system. Take herbal medicine, herbal foods, and everything that's gonna purge that stuff out you, and stay away from meat. Don't eat no meat.
Facts. That's true. But the majority of our people are under, when you got 1 million acres and counting of GMO soil, and then you have these global leaders that are growing these foods. Because the way you can control the people, that's one of the main ways you can control the people is through the food supply. And they know this. And they know this. And so when our people have had a history as well as an addiction of years and decades of eating certain foods. And so I don't want to be, I don't want to go overboard and talk to an inhuman level to the average person that, people have to do things in moderation. Everything has, even when people are coming off substance abuse, it has to be a detoxification period. Then, everything has to dry out. and then you begin to grow, because if most of the times you cannot cut the food supply off of the people that are poor. A lot of these people, the only thing that they can afford to feed their family with is the six wings and the rice from the gooks. Period. 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 And then or go to 7-Eleven and all of these hood supermarkets and get this leftover, partially contaminated meats and foods. That's survival. And like now say, we have the DNA to defeat that. And they know this. The only reason why all this stuff is even taking place is to destroy the melanated man and woman. It's no other reason. It's no other reason. It's no other purpose. It's no other agenda in place for any other people. Now, there are millions that are going to be affected by it. That's collateral damage. But the primary subjects are you and I. We're the primary subjects. If we can stop the system.
Let me ask you something, Brother Shock. Okay. If they so-called try to get rid of us with, I don't think it can happen. How would they live?
Talk up, man. What'd you say?
I said if
they got rid of us, how would they live?
They're not gonna get rid of us. Period. We'll be here. We can stay. But if they would, hypothetically speaking, if they were to get rid of us, how would they live?
They wouldn't.
They need us to live.
They're not trying to. They're not trying to be eliminated. Go ahead, Shock. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How can somebody who is a offspring and a retard gene from the original melanated man and woman, the superior supreme gene, how could they survive without the energy and the continuation of the flow of the genetic makeup on this planet? It's impossible. This is why they're doing this. This is why you see a lot of these black athletes, are dating the Neanderthals. These Neanderthals are not doing it because they love these athletes. This is an economic play as well as the DNA run too. Because if I can get that God, that supreme DNA, and my little ice monkeys, they will be able to survive. They will be, they will have that superior gene and genetic makeup in them. So it's not this, and that's just one aspect of it. You look at the what I was telling you about the adrenochrome, which Kenwado sent to me yesterday, and I've done the research on that. This is why Halloween. You know how many children are going to be pissing in the bed this weekend because they still going to see ghosts and goblins and Freddy and Jason. And then the child trafficking that takes place. That fear within itself, they use that and detract that adrenochrome to keep them healthy and survive. This is why they always like the children. Sure. This is the thing about the children. Their energies are pure. Their spirits are pure. Their organs are pristine. And their perception and discernment is beyond measurement. See, that's why when you see little babies, 1 year old, doing things and talking like adults, most of the time it is somebody that's energy that has come back through them. And that's a sign of the superiority of us, the original people. But when you've been told and trained that you don't have that power, and the only way you can get that power is look up in the sky and hope that a white man that looks like Howard Stern with a white nightgown and sheets on with flip-flops. That's your only source of power. And that you just a sin, you're sinful, you don't have no history. Our great wonders of the world now, elaborate, illustrious history is just paganism. Our people buy into this. And this plays that this keeps us in fear too. You better watch out. You better not pout. When that white man comes, don't twist your mouth up. You know, don't break your mug down around this white man. You can do it with your mother and father though, but don't do it because the white man is coming to town. He know when you sleep. He know when your ass up. You know, if when you look back on that, when you look back on all of that stuff, man, you know how powerful that stuff plays in the minds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Man, let's be real. All of us have been as babies.
Yeah.
You know, we find out this 10 minutes after 11, we put that blanket over our heads because this motherfucker crackers coming. And we're not going to get our toys. Even though your mother and father bust their ass and they work 60, 70 hours a week with no sleep. They didn't go shopping for nothing for themselves. They made the ultimate sacrifice to keep this goddamn mythology alive in your heart and in your mind.
I was one of them nosy kids, Shock. I used to get out of bed and look at the door. I should see mom and dad bringing in the toys.
Nah, my mother, you know, even though she was a hell of a cusser and all that, she still do that today. But, you know, you get up, you better not use the bathroom or none of this shit. None of that. None of that. You hold that piss till Santa Claus leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to see mom and them bringing in them toys. I'm telling you. Yeah, she broke us out of that.
We're going to end it on that note. Vocal dialect. We thank everybody. General Shaka Sankofa, Brother Gerald Moore, Sister Rhonda, Sister Nisa Sabas, Kinwato Akir, and I'm Knowledge Born 7. Vocal dialect. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out Brother Shah. Go ahead, Ken.
Check it out. You know, like the brother said, like, comment, subscribe, help us with the algorithm. Like I said, we give and push information like this, something we all need to know. Follow Vocal Dialect on TikTok. Follow us on IG. Follow us on Facebook as well. Follow the brother, the General T. Shaka Sankofa on Facebook every evening between 8:30. Are you coming on tomorrow, Brother Shaka?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go to T. Shaka Sankofa live on Facebook, 8:15 p.m. tomorrow live. Support the brother.
I want to say one thing before we get off of here. You guys take the time and really, just for the listening people listening, or people who are gonna come back and listen to this show, you guys take the time and really get into the science. Find out what makes you special. There's something special about you. I know it is. Find out what makes you special and build on it. Grow it. Nurture that thing like it's the last thing you got. And then after that, man, it's gonna be the great awakening. All right, family. Peace and power, y'all. Peace.
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 That was a good show, man.
Right.
Yeah,